So, you're thinking about a career in cybersecurity, right? But the biggest question everyone has is always, where in the world do I start? Well, you came to the right place. Today, we're going to break down the expert advice from a master hacker into a super clear step-by-step roadmap that'll put you on the fast track to landing your first job in the field. Okay, let's get into it. First things first, let's get one thing straight. Whatever you've seen in the movies, just forget it. The real money and pretty much all the jobs aren't about being a cool hacker. They're about defense. This number right here, 80%, that's the estimate of cybersecurity jobs that are all about protecting companies. That is the heart of the industry, and that's our target. So, how are we going to get you there? Well, this is your game plan. We're going to start with the most unexpected first step, your very own computer. Then we'll build out that core technical toolkit, crack the code on the whole no experience, no job problem, add the professional skills that actually get you hired, and finally, we'll zero in on the hottest fields to aim for. All right, section 1. Now, before you even think about downloading Linux or touching any hacking tools, your journey starts right where you are, right now. You have to know the operating system you use every single day, whether it's Windows or a Mac, inside and out. I mean, we're talking way beyond just checking email and posting online. Here's a perfect example of why this matters. It's not just theory. Imagine you're told there's malware attacking the Windows registry. If your first thought is, what's the registry? Then you're already behind. You're lost. You see, this deep fundamental knowledge isn't optional. It's everything. Okay, so how do you prove you've got this knowledge? The expert recommendation is crystal clear. Get a certification like the CompTIA A+. What's great about it is it's vendor neutral, so it's not just about Microsoft or Apple. And it tells employers, hey, this person has been tested and they actually understand how computers work. And you really need to understand the difference here. When a hiring manager sees a certificate of completion, they just think, cool, you sat through a class. But a professional certification like CompTIA's, that proves you attested and that you actually mastered the material. One is like a receipt for a class, the other is a credential that proves you have the skill. Now let's move on to section 2, and you'll see how this all connects. Once you have that rock-solid foundation of how your own machine works, then it's time to build the core technical toolkit that, honestly, every single person in cybersecurity, offense or defense, absolutely relies on. It all comes down to these 3 pillars. Number 1, master Linux. It's basically the native language of the security world. Number 2, understand networking. You can't possibly protect a network if you don't get how it talks to itself. And number 3, learn to script. This is the skill that separates the hobbyists from the actual professionals. You have to get these down cold before you even dream about roles like pen testing. So, why these specific languages? Well, Bash is your go-to for making things happen automatically in Linux. PowerShell is absolutely critical because, let's face it, most companies run on Windows, and attackers use it all the time once they're inside. And Python, a massive 80 to 90% of all security tools are built with it. Knowing these makes you incredibly powerful. And now for section 3. This is the big one, folks. We are tackling that classic catch-22 that drives everyone crazy when they're starting out. Every job wants experience, but how do you get experience if nobody will hire you to get it? The expert's advice here is pretty simple. You have to create your own experience. And the number 1 top-tier recommendation is to contribute to an open-source project. This is real, tangible work that a hiring manager can actually look at, and it shows you're committed. Volunteering for a nonprofit, like a church or a school, is another amazing way to build your portfolio. Bug bounties, they're an option, yeah, but you can see they're ranked last for a very good reason. And here's the crucial but that comes with bug bounties. The only stories you ever hear are from the lucky few who find a $10,000 or even $100,000 bug. The reality? Most people who try it work for a really long time and make next to nothing. It can be a path, but it's not the reliable resume builder that contributing to open source is. Okay, let's keep moving. Section 4. So you've got the tech skills, you've got a plan for experience, but what's the thing that actually seals the deal and gets you hired? It's that professional mindset, the stuff people call soft skills, that shows you're not just a tech nerd, but someone who can actually work on a team. Let's start right here, because this is so important. That little voice in your head saying, I don't know enough, or I'm a fraud, that's called imposter syndrome. And the message here is loud and clear. Everyone feels it. No one knows everything in a field that changes this fast. The trick is to not let that feeling paralyze you. Now, this piece of career advice right here, this is pure gold. It's not about shining the spotlight on yourself. It's about making your boss and your entire team successful. If you're the person who solves problems, helps the team win, and makes your manager's life easier, you're going to get promotions, you're going to get raises, and you're going to have a fantastic career. And a final, very practical warning. You have to assume that every single potential employer is looking you up online. They're checking your social media, and if they see a bunch of negativity, drama, or you trashing a former company, that could be the one thing that gets your resume thrown right in the trash. You have to keep it professional. All right, we are in the home stretch, our final section. You've built your foundation, your toolkit, your professional edge. So now, where do you aim all that incredible hard work? Let's look at the specializations that are blowing up right now and are going to be huge for the future. The two fields you should seriously consider are DFIR and wireless security. DFIR stands for Digital Forensics and Incident Response. These are the people who rush in after a hack to play detective and figure out what happened. It's a growing field and it pays really well. And wireless? Think about it. Everything from your fridge to giant factories is getting connected. Securing all those Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and 5G signals? That is the future. But just remember, it doesn't matter which defensive field you pick, you have to understand the offense. The expert uses this great basketball analogy. You'd never send your team out to play defense if they hadn't studied the other team's offensive plays, right? It's the same thing here. To stop a hacker, you have to understand how a hacker thinks. And we're going to end on this because this is the reality of our industry heading into 2026 and beyond. AI is getting smarter, and it is already starting to automate a lot of the basic entry-level tasks. The only way to stay ahead of the curve is to be a relentless, nonstop learner. If you're not learning something new every single day, you're falling behind. So the final question is really for you. Are you ready to make that commitment?